With L'Jarius Sneed officially off the Kansas City Chiefs books, you know what that means. It's time for Brett Veach to have some fun. So today, I put a list together of 5 players I believe the Kansas City Chiefs should sign before the NFL draft. Now with that, let's get the chit chat and let's have some fun. And with that, let the games begin. As much as Chiefs Kingdom and the Kansas City Chiefs love L'Jarius Sneed, priority number 1 was opening up cap space. So the best way to do that was to trade an asset, and it happened to be L'Jarius Sneed. Now, the Chiefs have some holes to fill before the draft. So today, I'm putting a list together of 5 players I believe the Kansas City Chiefs should sign. This is just my preference. If you guys have your own preference, jump in the comments down below and let me know some guys you're interested to see signing with the team now that we have all this cap space. Now, let's start with number 5. And I'm going to keep it nice and simple. Nothing too crazy to start the list off. But something a lot of fans haven't been discussing is the Kansas City Chiefs need a backup quarterback. Blaine Gabbert is a free agent, and honestly, I do not want the Kansas City Chiefs to bring back Blaine Gabbert. Nothing wrong with him. I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. In the limited time we've seen him, I just feel like the Kansas City Chiefs can do better at that position. And God forbid, if anything happens to Patrick Mahomes, I just don't know if Blaine Gabbert can win the Chiefs games. I know Andy Reid will put the team in the right position, but I don't know if that's something I want to see. But there was rumors regarding last year that the Kansas City Chiefs were interested in Carson Wentz and bringing him in as a backup quarterback. And I can see those rumors swirling again. I don't know if this would be a move prior to draft, but I can definitely see it start ramping up towards mini camp and training camp to where they may bring Carson Wentz in and he may be quarterback number 2. Now, is it the best backup quarterback option? Probably not, but he's a guy who's a playmaker, and he's also a guy who will wreck your heart and cause havoc and wondering what the hell he's doing. And that kind of sounds like he fits with the Kansas City Chiefs. At the end of the day, the Chiefs just need a veteran guy backing up Patrick Mahomes because they don't want that veteran backup coming in. And so I think Carson Wentz fits that role. And now at my number 4 spot, I'm going to give y'all a 2-for-1 special. And that's basically because I'm kind of struggling to pick who I would prefer more. But we're going to stick on the defensive line, that pass rusher position, and it's going to be 2 former Kansas City Chiefs players now in Mike Dana and Emmanuel Ogbah. I would love the Kansas City Chiefs to bring back one of these pass rushers just because you can never have too many. And with Mike Dana not being signed at the moment, a young pass rusher is kind of surprising to me. He's a guy who is a very, very good rotational guy, and I think can excel on any team in this league and get after the quarterback. I would be more than welcome to bringing him back, and it looks like it could be at a cheap rate as well. And that's the same with Emmanuel Ogbah. They are both very similar to me. The only thing is, Ogbah is a little older. But with his tenure in Kansas City, I was so sad to see him leave because he was a great rotational guy as well. And I think that's something the Kansas City Chiefs still need to look out for. Knowing that Charles Omenihu was covering from a late season torn ACL, he is projected to be back early season, but we know it may not be the same Charles Omenihu that we came to know and love towards the end of the year. And now you have Felix Anudike-Uzomah, who I really believe that Coach Spags and the defense wants to move forward, and they want him to fill Mike Dana's spot. But it's still very, very slim after George Karlaftis and Charles Omenihu. I really believe you need another guy in there, and I would love to see the Kansas City Chiefs kick the tires on a guy like Mike Dana or even Emmanuel Ogbah. Now let's kick it off with the number 3 guy on my list, and now we are going to switch back to the offensive side of the ball in another position that a lot of Chiefs Kingdom isn't really heavily focused on, is that running back room. Now with it looking like Jet McKinnon and Clyde Edwards-Helaire will no longer be with the team, the Kansas City Chiefs need a hole to fill. And I'm going to look at former Baltimore Ravens running back J.K. Dobbins. Yes, I know. It's going to take a lot of Chiefs Kingdom to have convinced on this one because J.K. Dobbins is a great pure talent. There's no denying that. When he is on the football field, he can be a top 10 running back. Chiefs Kingdom wanted the Chiefs to draft him instead of Clyde Edwards-Helaire in that year's draft. And they may be able to right that wrong, if it is a quote-unquote right that wrong. I love what Clyde Edwards-Helaire's done for us. It may not have been worth that first-round draft pick, but I feel like his tenure was very, very good nonetheless. But with J.K. Dobbins, I think he can fit a perfect role here, and the main thing is, can he stay healthy? He is coming off of a torn Achilles that he suffered in week 1 of last year, and he should be able to make a full recovery. The reason why I would like the signing of J.K. Dobbins is because he doesn't have to worry about getting that full-on workload that he was getting with the Ravens. And the Ravens are a run-heavy offense. He would be solidified as your number 2 running back, and he would be a great one at that. Just imagine Pacheco and Dobbins. That would be solid. And then you can run with the RB3 of either Deneric Prince or LaMichael Pirine, who I believe the Kansas City Chiefs think are going to take that next step next year. I know a lot of Chiefs Kingdom also has their eyes focused on the draft in the running back position, and I just don't know how to solely feel on that. I see a lot of mock drafts showing that the Chiefs can draft a running back from like round 3 or earlier, and the value there I just don't understand. I don't see Brett Veach drafting a running back higher than what he drafted Pacheco, for the simple fact Pacheco was a 7th round pick and he's been a stud. If you draft someone higher than Pacheco simply in the 3rd or 2nd round, that's Pacheco's future replacement because all the assets are there. I believe Veach is going to continue to kick the tires on these 1-year deals and have an RB2. And what better than J.K. Dobbins, who is a 25-year-old running back? Injuries nonetheless, but has a lot of potential. Also, you can look out for guys like Cordell Patterson, who is the ultimate Swiss Army knife to where he can play running back, wide receiver, kickoff return, punt return. That could be another option. So Chiefs Kingdom, keep your eyes out for that. But I believe there will be a running back added before the draft. Now, for my final 2 slots, we're going to stick on the defensive side of the ball. And at number 2, with the Kansas City Chiefs trading L'Jarius Sneed and opening up all this cap space, it could have created a quote-unquote little hole. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs do have great depth at that position, but are the Kansas City Chiefs ready to move forward with Joshua Williams and Jalen Watson as that outside cornerback? I don't know, but we could find out really quickly. But if Brett Veach feels that the Kansas City Chiefs need a veteran presence at that position, why not kick the tires on a guy like Stephon Gilmore? Yes, he is an older cornerback. Yes, he may still want the bag. Who knows? He may want another ring, and this would be the perfect situation as well, and he can still play. He may be past his prime, but he is still a really, really good cornerback. And why would you not want him on a 1-year deal? And you can still draft cornerbacks as well, but I really believe the cornerback market and the free agency pool is still very good with the veteran presence like Stephon Gilmore, Tre'Davious White, Xavier Howard. There's guys there. So I would not be surprised if Brett Veach said, hey, let's get someone to pair up with Trent McDuffie, and let's just make this thing go, and let's try to get this 3-peat. And my number 1 guy on my list, he has been the Patrick Mahomes killer, his demons, knowing how to catch more passes than the wide receivers themselves on the team, and it is safety Justin Simmons. Now, if you were to ask me this in the beginning of free agency when Justin Simmons got released, I would have loved it, but I would have thought it would have been a far shot. But I would not have thought a few weeks later that Justin Simmons would have still been a free agent, which makes me believe that there may be a possibility now that the Kansas City Chiefs have opened up all this cap space. And also, people say there really isn't a need at safety, but there can kind of be. With the Kansas City Chiefs losing Mike Edwards in free agency to the Buffalo Bills and Brian Cook coming off an injury as well, it can be kind of slim. And also, if you add Justin Simmons onto that defense, he may be the best safety right away. And he also creates turnovers, which the Kansas City Chiefs really lacked. no matter how stellar that defense was last year, they struggled getting interceptions. We know Justin Simmons, that's the name of his game. And just imagine how great that would be. If you just look at my list and you add a guy like Stephon Gilmore and Justin Simmons, I don't know how real that is, but that would be so great to see. And I would love to see this defense just keep improving, because remember, the only reason the Kansas City Chiefs are back-to-back champions is because the defense played out of their minds last year. And I expect Brett Veach to be in Coach Spags' ear and be like, what do we need to make sure this does not take a step back? Of course, they will want to improve the offense, but man, you do not want that defense to lose a step. And best believe they're going to keep it running. Now, that is my top 5 players I think the Kansas City Chiefs will add before the NFL draft, maybe after, but I still think those will be some good pieces moving forward. And if you paid attention to the list, you'll know I left out 2 key positions. It's been a lot of people's actually top 2 holes on this Kansas City Chiefs team, and it was wide receiver and it was left tackle. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs do have options, and they can add players in this free agent period. At left tackle, they can bring back Donovan Smith. And wide receiver, there are guys out there. There's veteran guys. Hunter Renfrow, Odell Beckham, Tyler Boyd, Michael Thomas. The list goes on and on. And I'm not saying they can't, but it'll be interesting to see what happens if they do. But I believe the Kansas City Chiefs are solely focused on the offense in the draft as well. And we'll talk about that more, trust me. Once we get close to the draft, we are going to address those positions because they are holes, but they are holes that we typically don't see Brett Veach invest heavy on and spend that big bag. So that's why I'm not quite sold. It may happen before the draft, but keep your eyes peeled because anything can happen. Now with that, Chiefs Kingdom, I'm checking out. But please be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you did like this video, please leave that big thumbs up. Y'all take care. Peace.